All right, there you have it. What an intro. Pushing some knobs and some buttons here. Welcome to another Sunday night on David Divine Broadcasting. Welcome in. Come on in. Enjoy yourself. Do a check here. Enjoy yourself. Yeah, there we go. Sounds great. How are we doing tonight? Hey, Hope. I will definitely. What's going on? I just saw your message. It's crazy. I was going to respond, but I was pushing buttons and stuff. What's going on? Happy Sunday. Close to Aaron Go Rob. We'll have to get to the bottom of that. What's going on with all these somethings today? So St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow. Hope's got a lot going on with their fishes, right? I want to tell you guys about Vagrant, which I had in the thumbnail. I want to talk about Vagrant, which I found out in the wild, Arrow film release. So we'll talk about that a little bit and see what else we got going on. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to the big show. All right. So we got Hope's fishes to discuss. They're going crazy in the tank. The weather's going crazy. Aaron Go Bra, St. Patrick's Day. We got this movie to talk about. We'll see what else happens. Happy Sunday. Yeah, I got to stop sniffing into the mic. That sounds terrible. All right. So here we'll start off with this movie, The Vagrant, and then we'll get into other things that I found out in the wild. Arrow film, The Vagrant. You guys want to hear about The Vagrant? Have you seen The Vagrant before? Has anybody seen this movie, The Vagrant, from 1992? Look at that handsome guy. The Vagrant, put out by Arrow, Blu-ray, 2K scan. That slipcover. Yeah, I found this out at the Half Price Books. Picked it up, had never seen it, but it's an Arrow film, so I trust it. And I'm glad I picked it up. Because the 90s cult classic is back, directed by Chris Wallace. So there's a few awesome things about this movie. Chris Wallace being one of them. Look at watch the credentials on Chris Wallace. Chris Wallace is an American special effects artist, makeup effects artist, film director, producer, and screenwriter. Best known for his work on the film The Fly, in which he won an Academy Award. But listen to the filmography with this guy. He directed this movie, The Vagrant, starring Bill Paxton. Listen to some of his credentials here, movies. Special effects, monster design, and Naked Lunch. Naked Lunch, written by William S. Burroughs. We talked about him. He did the reading in Haxon. Remember, we talked about him. Well, he wrote Naked Lunch, and Chris Wallace did the makeup for that film, which was awesome. That's a wild movie. That book is crazy, but the movie is just off the hook. And I've read the book and seen the movie, and I don't know. I don't put a whole lot of correlation between the two. They translated the book much differently than I did when I read it. But William Burroughs does not remember or recall writing the book. So, yeah, the movie goes along fine with that. So anyway, The Fly 2, House 2, which is great. The Fly. He worked on Gremlins. He worked on Return of the Jedi. He worked on E.T. We've been talking about Robert Croman, The Fly from 58. Not well, that one's great with Vincent Price, right? But no, he worked on the remake of The Fly, 1986. What's up, Grog? Good to see you. 1958. Now, that was a great one, though. Return of the Jedi, Airplane, Humanoids from the Deep. He worked on that. Sci-fi, another Piranha, Tales from the Crypt, Raiders of the Lost Ark. So this guy has some serious credentials, and then he directed The Vagrant. And this is a cool release, but I do want to read a couple of the critics. Yeah, Vincent Price in The Fly. I have that one. And Shout Factory put out a cool Fly, all the Fly movies in a box set. That was really cheap not too long ago. So yeah, let me drop the link in a second. Let me just show you this cool book, right? High Hope, and then the poster. So this I found out in the wild, but anyway, I thought it was a great movie. It's called The Vagrant. It's kind of like a Fight Club thing, where it could end any way you want it to, really, kind of. But I'll get into that in 1 second. But listen to this. This film grossed in 1992. This is why I never heard of it or never seen it. This film grossed. I mean, this is what it says in the Wikipedia. How much you think this film grossed? Anybody out there have a guess how much this film grossed at the box office? I think it says it was screened in 1992 in 4 theaters. No, 8 theaters, double the amount. This was screened in 8 theaters. Yeah, we don't talk about Fight Club, and you don't talk about The Vagrant. $2 million. Okay, I'm reading this right off. This is why I had to bring some of these things up about this movie. I mean, I'm reading this off Wikipedia. Okay. Good guess. 2 good guesses. This is what it says. It's screened in 8 theaters. I mean, it's got Bill Paxton in it, right? Bill Paxton was in a lot of great movies. He was in Aliens, Twister, This guy, Chris Wallace. And also this was a Mel Brooks production too, by the way. Mel Brooks was in on producing this in 1992, but I never heard of it. But I picked it up as a blind buy, and I actually loved it. But listen to this, and I'll drop the link in a minute. But the film grossed in U.S. dollars. This is what it says on Wikipedia. I don't know if it's it says it was out in 8 theaters, and it was only released for 1 week. And this is what it says right here. The film grossed $4,300. $4,300. So who was closer, Gra or Hope? Hope was closer. $4,300. It says it right there. On opening weekend. And remember, it was only there for a week. So I know. This is why this movie is intriguing to me. Because it's not that bad, but It's a good movie. So it grossed $4,300, but remember it was there for a whole week. So at the end of the week, it did increase. It increased to $5,900 after a week in the 8 theaters. A Mel Brooks production. Bill Paxton's in it. Chris Wallace, who's winning awards for his makeup and all those movies. It grossed $5,900. Yeah. Hope makes that much modeling her socks. So let's see. So the Chicago Tribune said, and I don't agree with any of these. That's why I'm bringing it up. I think it's funny. So, I mean, I think it's a good, I mean, I challenge you to watch the movie. I mean, it really is great. And listen to what the Chicago Tribune writer. So this proves that you can't do things judged on people's opinions, right? You can't not do things or do things, because here you have all these talented people made $5,900. Here's what the Chicago Tribune said. Writer Johanna Steinmetz wrote that The Vagrant is not remotely funny. But she admits that it could be a cult film. But it's basically moronic, inept, and a bummer. Yeah, that's what they said. Yeah, right, Gra. Me buying this almost doubled their sales, probably. So let's see. Oh, so yeah, so then it was put out by Shout Factory on Blu-ray in 2017, and then Arrow released this great release in 2023. Yeah. So yeah, so basically the guy buys a house, but there's a vagrant crashing in his house, right? And then he becomes paranoid. He tries to get the guy arrested for peeing in the park, for everything getting arrested. His girlfriend invites the vagrant in for lunch. But then murders start happening in the neighborhood, and they're blaming it on the vagrant, but then he starts to doubt if it's him doing it. So this is where the Fight Club thing comes in. He's like trying to get the vagrant busted, but he's not sure if he's like committing all these crimes. So then he moves away. I mean, all this stuff happens with his house, and it's got great makeup and special effects. I mean, it is a comedy, and there are funny parts, but it's like Fight Club, and then he moves away, and it starts happening again. So it's like there's no way the vagrant followed him somewhere else. So you're starting to think it is him. Anyway, it ends up where there really was a vagrant, but you could still tilt to where it might have been him. So it's pretty wild. Yeah, something's not right with Hope's water. Let's see. Fluoride. Well, I'm sure she knows too. Not. Yeah, it's a dark comedy. Yeah, it's definitely a dark comedy. I mean, it's not like, yeah, it's not slapstick. It's like, yeah, it's a dark comedy. And it's funny, but it's got Bill Paxton in it. Anyway, yeah. Michael Ironside, who's in Starship Troopers, Scanners. I mean, it's a great movie. I actually got it quite a while ago, and I don't know, I never heard of it, and I didn't watch it for a long time, but I just watched it Well, it's been a couple months now, and I've been meaning to talk about it, and it's great. Might have to hang this poster up. Kind of reminds me of Charles Bukowski. But anyway, yeah, so it's got that Fight Club feel because depending on how you interpret it, I mean, he lost everything. He lost his house, he lost his job, he lost his girl, trying to bust this vagrant. He was so paranoid about this vagrant. And then he, like I said, he doubted whether he even existed. And it's a it's a Mel Brooks type dark comedy. I mean, it's got. I was a bit shocked that Mel Brooks was actually a part of this, but he was a part of a lot of things that I've came across that weren't normal Mel Brooks type deals. But so that's the Vagrant. So I recommend it. I think that it's funny that it only made $5,900. I doubled the value of the movie, but it was put out by Arrow. This copy with the nice slip cover that somebody traded in, and I got lucky enough to find. So there you have it. Yeah, it's a dark comedy. Yep, there it is. Yeah. You buying the DVD increased the sales substantially. Yeah, there's that. So there's that. And then there's just Hammer films that I've been watching like crazy too. You guys into Hammer films? Watching now or in the future? Leave your favorite Hammer films in the bottom. I think I've made my mind up that one of my goals. I think they made 158 films. Hammer, 158 or 168. And I don't know how many are on Blu-ray or DVD or 4K. Is that a statement? Or ITV? The Vagrant can be seen on Prime TV. On Prime. Yeah, watch The Vagrant. I'm telling you, watch this movie, and then these critics were crazy, man. They said it was Moran. It was here, and the reason I review it this way is because I'm shocked because like I said, I didn't watch it for a long time, and I intended on not liking it. That's why I didn't watch it. I mean, I thought it was interesting, the slipcover art, and the fact that it was a limited edition and I got it for a really good price as a used place. So I bought it and I thought, well, there'll be something in the extras. And then there's all kind of great extras in here too. But I didn't think I'd like this movie. Not at all. That's why I didn't watch it for a long time. But I enjoyed it thoroughly. And then, yeah, then you got, the new scan, the audio's great. New interviews with actors. It's cool. I think there's some Mel Brooks interview on here too. I don't see it off the top of my head, but anyway, I didn't expect to like it, but yeah, what it costs to make this. Yeah, I know it. It only made that much money. And then, maybe in rentals it made some, but no, I'm sure. I mean, it had to cost. I mean, it was 1992, but it had to cost what, a couple $1,000,000 to make this. I mean, they had the house, they had an on location house. They did all kind of construction to it. They had to pay the actors. It does. I mean, it is a good movie. It's just, I was shocked. I don't know if, I mean, I don't think it's a typo in Wikipedia. I mean, if it was only in 8 theaters and no one was aware of it, uh, it's it's kind of like you wonder what happened to it. I'll have to do some more research. Yeah, 2 million easy. It's kind of like Fright Night. They had Fright Night 2, and Fright Night was just a great movie. And Fright Night 2 was too, by the way. But you know what happened with Fright Night 2 is that they had a huge push. Uh, they were pushing for it to be released in all these theaters to follow up Fright Night, which was a great movie, just a great movie. In fact, 2 is great too. I said that before, but Fright Night 2 is great. And actually, they're doing it on an English release soon. It's out on a Spanish release right now. But you know what happened? The person promoting Fright Night 2, when that was set to be put in all these theaters and be the big blockbuster for the weekend or whatever, the month, or maybe possibly, I don't know if it was a summer release, but you know what happened? The person that was pushing that movie was the father of the Menendez brothers. Remember that? The father of the Menendez brothers. And so when that incident happened, you know, the studios and everybody just wanted to be as far away from that movie as possible. So I think they dropped all the promo, pulled it from a lot of theaters, and it just tanked. Now, I don't know if it tanked as bad as The Vagrant. I'm sure it was in more theaters than The Vagrant. But I wonder if The Vagrant had something like that. But that's interesting that Fright Night 2 was a great movie. I just got a copy of it from Spain. It's, you know, it's in English, but the writing on the covers and stuff are in Spanish. But it's a great movie. But yeah, that's why it got canned. It got downplayed because of the Menendez brothers. And the dad was the one pushing it. So everybody just wanted to get as far away as possible. But that's a great movie that they're doing in 4K. I think soon, or a new in America anyway. So that's that. So that's an interesting fact. What was that? I was talking about Hammer film. Yeah. So they have 158 films, I think they put out. Hammer. Which you can, like Grout put up, that you can watch The Vagrant on Prime. Check it out. Do check it out. Again, I didn't intend on liking the movie, but it was fun. It was a fun movie, and a lot like Fight Club. But so yeah, these Hammer films, I think I'm going to make a push to collect all these that they have out. Either find them used on DVD or Blu-ray. I really enjoy Hammer films. So if you're watching this in the future and you like Hammer films, tell me your favorites in the comments below. But the one I just watched, here's another one. This probably is on Tubi too. Tubi. Is The Reptile. Look at that, The Reptile. This is another one that was filmed at Bray Studios. And another one that this is another one that got dropped and pushed around because they filmed 4 movies together. Let's see if I can remember them. A Dracula film. No, I'm going to have to look it up. A Dracula film. 2 other films. Let's see. Let's go here. Let's see. Hold on a second. So this one got pushed around because they were filming 4 films. Let's see. Dracula, The Plague of the Zombies, and Rasputin, right? All at Bray Studios. And yeah, right, Gra. Um, could be. Look at the face. Pretty similar. Not arguing with you there. Hold on. I got myself messed up here now. Okay. So yeah, it had those other 3 movies, but they were all off. So later in the week, I want to make a video. I want to make a video of the Dracula film, Rasputin, and the Plague of the Zombies, because this is crazy. They were all filmed. They staggered them releasing these because they were all filmed on the same set. All 4 of those movies were filmed on the same set at Bray Studio that they built. And I think by the time they got to this one, they didn't trust the story, and they didn't want to put a lot of funding, because originally it was supposed to be Curse of the Reptiles, where they had tons of these reptile people, but they didn't have the budget. They pulled it. Yeah. All four of those films. So I want to take a look at those other 3. I just watched this one yesterday again. I want to take a look at the other 3 and catch all the similarities in the same set. But this is another one where they burnt that mansion down that we talked about. That they built a model of it to burn down. They didn't burn the real mansion down, but where they filmed Rocky Horror and the inside of one of the other Hammer films I just talked about. But yeah, I love these Hammer films. But yeah, I want to take a look at those other films and then kind of compare the sets and make a video, or go live or make a video comparing all these. But by the time they got to this one, the actress hated being in the makeup. There she is in the makeup there. She got claustrophobic and swore to never be in that makeup again. It got horrible reviews. This is the night of horrible movies that I love, but horrible reviews. The Vagrant, and now the Reptile. This didn't get good reviews either. But it's great. It's great, but it's a slow gothic story, but they dropped the ball on this. Listen to the critics, because I think that this could have been the way to go. But remember, Dracula and Frankenstein were killing it at the box office, and nobody wanted a new story about the reptile snake girl. It was a weird story. She was a girl that turned into a snake, and her dad had to keep her in the basement. She shed her skin once a year, but she went around, terrorizing the neighborhood because she was a snake. But it's great. I mean, the makeup was really great in this, and this is a movie where one of the directors, one of the second or third director, tried to get out of it. He didn't want any part of this. God likes basements. So he tried to overcharge him for his services because he didn't want to do the movie. But they said, okay, we'll pay you that. So they paid him. But there's a documentary in this about that where he tried to overcharge him, and they paid him. So he was stuck. He had to do the movie. But I love these Hammer films. And I'm gonna try to collect them all. I try to go on Instagram and let Hammer know when I do review one, because they're putting stuff out again now. Grawlike's Basements. But this is a good movie. I want to take a look at all 4 movies and then compare everything. But this is great. And there's this, but wait, there's more. This is what made me dig this movie back out. I was, no, it wasn't the same. I bought that a long time ago, but I was out looking at the used places, and look what I came across. This is why I had to dig that movie out. Look at this. This is weird to find this. Welcome, everybody. Come on in. Have a good time. We're talking about movies. We'll talk about who knows what by the time we're done. But we're talking about the reptile right now. We talked about Vagrant, Graw's Basement Fetish. But look at this. I found this at the used place. So random. Yeah. Hammer reptile figure. How random is that? You guys ever seen that? A hammer reptile figure? I couldn't believe it. There's the makeup that the actress hated. Look at that hammer logo. I couldn't believe it when I saw the hammer logo. The actress hated that makeup. Kind of like Dracula teeth, huh? Yeah, everybody watch The Vagrant tonight. Let's get the numbers up on The Vagrant. Tell them I sent you. It's a great movie. The guy gets himself so preoccupied with this vagrant. And that he ruins his life. He literally ruins his life being preoccupied with the vagrant. There's a moral there, folks. Yeah, watch The Vagrant and report back to me. It's a good movie. It deserves to make more than $5,900. Watch The Vagrant. All right. There's those 2 movies. I got a couple more to talk about here in a second. I was going to talk about him with Eddie tonight, but I don't think Eddie's feeling good. I don't know. Hopefully he feels better. But yeah, let's highlight that. I'll watch The Vagrant tonight. I'm gonna increase the viewership of The Vagrant and all Hammer films. I enjoy all Hammer films, but this one they should redo, not screw it up, but redo. They should redo this maybe with the other concept that they had with the curse of the reptile. Maybe have a bunch of these. This really should be done. Also, like the movie that it played with, The Curse of the Zombies, another great one. But we'll talk about those later this week. I know you guys are dying to hear some more reptile talk. But anyway, yeah, watch The Vagrant. There you have it. I keep seeing the smoke flying in the top, and I keep thinking that something's on fire. Hold on 1 second. All right, there we go. Did Wikipedia say where it was released? Oh, probably Toledo. I don't know. No, it didn't say. That would have to be a deeper dive. A deeper dive into where it was released. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. That's good. Let's see. Uh, um, this is it. Uh, yeah, I don't know that I'll find it. A businessman buys a house, but he has a hard time trying to get rid of the previous tenant, a dirty bum. Yeah, I mean the movie had a lot going for it. He was terrorized by an unruly vagrant that lives across the street in an abandoned lot. What begins as a simple inconvenience to him escalates into an all out war of head games, wit, and eventually murder. Dun dun dun. Yeah, I don't know where it was released, what theaters, but probably Toledo. Grass says could be. It's as good a guess as any. Probably Toledo. Yeah, that smoke's freaking me out. So yeah, that's that. The reptile figure, uh, the vagrant, the reptile movie. These are the ones I was going to talk about with Eddie tonight uh, because they've done these two on 4K, both these now, and uh, the second one got the 4K got horrible reviews. The first one got okay reviews, and it seems like they did them backwards as far as the releases. But so off of, and this is kind of a key to like collectors, if anybody's watching now or in the future that's collecting that 4Ks, you know, I love them uh in many cases, but sometimes like this second one that I'm going to talk about that gets terrible reviews because of how the studio restored it or did too much AI work. AI is not always a good thing, especially when you're restoring film. And so but the Blu-ray, and I like Blu-rays. So a lot of times if they're getting bad reviews, to pay that much money for a 4K just because it says 4K on it is crazy. And then for like a couple bucks, you can buy these Blu-rays that get great reviews. Then you have your 4K player that upscales the movies, and especially if it's not uh well, if it's getting bad reviews and it's not I don't know, it's doesn't have a ton of extras, which these 4Ks don't have a ton of extras. There's no the value in there is just not there. So my advice to you is at that point, do what I did and be happy and stick with the Blu-rays for cheap price. But great movies, and these are both great copies, and I'm glad I went that route. And these were fun to watch. The first one was T2 Terminator 2, right? And obviously the second one, I don't know why now I'm doing them in reverse. The Terminator. Specifically this one released in 2015, got great reviews, and so I went with that. This did just come out on 4K, but I'm completely happy with this. I like my DVDs. If I have to, then I get Blu-ray. Yeah. Well, yeah, I like Blu-ray. I mean, I remember, it moved fast into to 4K now, but Blu-rays have come down. Remember, just a few years, Blu-ray were so expensive, but these were dirt cheap because now they're released on 4K. But these were great, and it was great watching these movies again. Grad loves the Terminator movies. Hope's looking for green socks. I hope you find some green socks. If we were streaming tomorrow, I would have to have probably some green. I don't know if I have any green. I don't think I have green socks. Or a hat or any. I don't know if I have anything Irish. Isn't that weird? You'd think with all the hats I have, I'd have to have a Waffle House hat. If Waffle House has a holiday, I'll be all set. But yeah, these Terminator movies are great. Yeah, what? Yeah, I don't think I do. I mean, I'm sure at one time in my life I had something green to wear. But actually, St. Patrick's Day is one of those days that like we talked about it last week. It always catches me off guard. Grad's got a green Christmas bow for his helmet. Yeah, there you go. Put your helmet on. Yeah, we talked about St. Patrick's Day is one of those ones that always sneaks up on me, and then I'm driving to work, and I would be like, I wish I would have taken off work to go to the bars. But then again, one year I did go to the bars, and I walked in, and people were laying on the floor already, so we had to struggle to find somewhere quieter to go. But uh-oh. That's now you need to put your camera on and live stream this. Digging the green socks out from behind the dresser. That ought to be fun. Make sure you say Patty's Day, not Pattis Day. Does someone say Pattis? St. Pattis? St. Patrick's Day? I don't know. Well, let me fix my studio here while I'm here. Patty, not Patty. Yeah, there's a lot of rules. That's a lot of rules. After a couple green beer, I can't say that I ever enjoyed green beer either. In Toledo, they do. Toledo, Toledo's such a cool. Well, I don't know if you call it a cool town, but I'm a big fan of the Toledo Mud Hens, and so I like to go by their stadium like whenever I can, once a year or something. Go check in on the Toledo Mud Hens. Yeah, I agree with you, which I can't believe. I can't believe that. Yeah, I agree with you now, Hope too, which is wild. Devil Dog wants me to calm down. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Devil Dog. Devil Dog, do you love these Terminator movies? T2. How much do you guys remember about these? Calm down. Right on, Devil Dog. Um, I have green socks, but they're too fluffy to wear to work. That's important. I'm glad that Devil Dog doesn't watch movies. Hope's never seen them. That's wild to me. Although, yeah, I mean, although again, they were put out pretty early in Hope's time frame. You don't watch movies? Hmm. Devil Dog, I watch enough for both of us. I watch enough for both of us. So I got you covered. I played the part of the bum in the alley. Hey, man. Oh, in Terminator? Yeah, but what was wild about him is like the I hadn't watched it in such a long time that it turns out that T2 was the one that I remembered the most. I remember this was the one that I think came out right along the time when I was going to the movies a lot. And so that was the big one. The original Terminator, which I thought I knew so well, was like watching a new movie again. It had some twists in there that I didn't quite remember. Oh, yeah, same here. If I watch a movie, it'll be a low rated B movie. Yeah. Whoa, I hear you. Gra watched Terminator a month ago. Yeah, I hear you, Devil Dog. I watched actually um, tons of B. Actually, that's what we were talking about. B movie right here, The Reptile, and I do watch a lot of B movies. In fact, I prefer them. Or like we were talking, this I don't know, The Vagrant. We were talking about that earlier. Not a blockbuster. Obviously, it made $5,900 at the box office. But yeah, I do watch a lot of B movies. Mm-hmm. And Hammer stuff. Roger Corman. All kind B movies, and even I think even some that you would class under B movie. If there's a class under B, C, way under C. I mean, you got a lot of the ones that Vinegar Syndrome puts out are just like lost films that they restore that they would be even under B. Now, I'm gonna write it down again though. I'll write it down in my new book. I think I did actually. I watched. I think I did, but I'm gonna say no because I don't think I watched it all. But I'm gonna write it down and we'll make an attempt again. I'm sure that I looked and I'm sure I turned it on. But out of respect for you, I'm gonna write it down again here. I'm sure I know I've seen it, but we'll watch it again. Here comes Gra. Oh shoot, I got to put the earpiece in. Aloha, Steve. What's going on? Good to see you.
Aloha, Steve. Hey, everybody.
Aloha. I got to put the earpiece in. I forgot.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
I couldn't hear everybody or couldn't hear you.
It's funny you put the Terminator on tonight. You mentioned that, and I think we talked about that a couple months ago.
Yeah. What's up, Steve? Oh, bring it. Steve's bringing people from his stream. Thank you, Steve. Way to go.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
good.
I was watching Steve's stream too. Steve had a great stream tonight. I didn't say anything. I just watched. I was lurking because I
Uh,
I didn't want him to feel the need to promote me. But here he is.
oh
Look
wow.
at there.
Yeah. Look at all
Yeah.
the people. Yeah. Hi, Andy. Good
Thank
to
you,
see
Steve.
everybody. Good to
Hey,
see
Andy.
everyone.
Yeah, I didn't want to make Steve feel like he
Yeah.
had to promote me, but look at him. He did anyway, Gross. So that was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Steve. Just so you know, checks in the mail, Steve. Just so you
Yeah,
know.
checks in the mail.
So we was talking about the Terminator. There was a couple things that I found interesting. One was it was made in 1984, and we all know what 1984 is about.
Oh, that's the first one. Yeah. Okay. So this
Yeah.
one was 1984. Okay.
Yeah. And another interesting thing, at the very beginning of it, if you remember it, it shows the HKs, the hunter killers flying around, just
Right.
driving over all of the skeletons and everything, you know.
Right.
Guess what
Right.
year? Guess what year that was?
Uh, that it that
That
they made.
yeah, because it shows in print, below that it tells you what.
2025.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Yeah. 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 Wow. That is crazy. So we're
It is.
there. So
Yeah, where that.
this was made in 1984.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just a teenager in that time frame. And so when you watch this, I'm sure I've seen it at the maybe at the movie or probably on VHS. I've probably seen it
Yeah.
on VHS.
Oh, same here. Yeah, absolutely. I've seen it on VHS, of course.
And so the year was 1984, and we didn't think anything. We thought 2025 would be.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, that we'll be flying around with the Jetsons. Can you make that noise? I can't do it.
That's funny. I heard someone on the radio trying to do that noise today too.
The
But so
little jet.
we thought
Sorry.
2025 would never get here, and we're here. We're here right
Oh
now.
yeah, we'll all be dead and gone by then. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think what do you put into that? I mean,
No, that's just. I mean, that's it. That was. Other than that, that it just is what it is. I just found that interesting that it kind of coincides with right before we had the can we say pandemic yet? I guess we can.
I think so. Yeah.
Right before we had that, Netflix came out with a movie called Pandemic, like
Right.
6 months before. What is that,
Right.
a coincidence?
Yeah.
And now, yeah. So
Right. Yeah. It's well, and in here and watching these, you think about how we're flirting with all the robot stuff now, because they just had the stuff with like Kim Kardashian. Did you see that ad where she's sleeping with the robot? Did you see that ad?
no,
Yeah.
no. Oh, really? God, how can you tell which is which though?
Right. Yeah, but it's so wild because it's been a week-long promotion of like Tesla and
That's unreal. Who knew that robots like big butt?
yeah,
I
she's laying there. I
had
was
no
pre-reincarnated in 1984.
idea.
Yeah, so
Pre-read.
she had, yeah, so she's laying there. Yeah, her butt is out and she's sleeping with a robot in I don't know if it's an ad or it's just I don't know what it is. I saw it on X, but it kind of like rounded out the whole week because
I'm going to try to avoid seeing that commercial, that specific commercial. I think.
yeah, well, people were all in the comments section hating on it because it's another step of like having people hook up with robots instead of another human,
Just yeah, unbelievable. But when you mentioned earlier too, Terminator is one of those where if if there's a bunch of us that are together that decide we want to watch that movie, You will not want me to be there because I'll say the upcoming line right before it comes up. You know?
I'll be back. I'll be
You know,
back.
I've
I'll be
seen it
back.
so damn many times. You know.
But so what's wild in this movie is that Arnold is the bad guy in this movie.
Oh yeah, in the first one, yeah.
Yeah,
Viva
yeah. Arnold,
Tormente. What did he say? He said? There's a storm a coming, and
yeah.
she said, "I know, I know."
So Arnold's the bad guy, and then and he's going back to eliminate the sun because he's going to start the resistance in the future in the year 2025.
Yeah,
And then in T2 he freaks her out because he's a model sent reprogrammed by the sun in the year 2025 and sent back to save him. So that's the twist in that, which I hadn't seen it for a long time, so I forgot that twist, and that's awesome because it freaked her out, when she saw
oh
Arnold for the
yes,
first time.
yeah. And the kid goes to get her, tries to get her out of the Ha Ha hotel. You know, she's in the funny farm, and they had to break her out and everything. Yeah, that was.
Brian says he thinks that nympho mode. I guess he's talking about the robots. Nympho mode may be kind of fun though.
Oh, it probably cost you a couple bucks extra.
Did you
Probably.
did you see the Big Bang Theory where he made the robot hand?
Yes.
Yeah, and he
Yes.
got it
Did you
stuck.
see the one where they? Did you see the one where they made the make out thing where you could
Oh
kiss?
with Raj and him.
Yeah,
They were kissing into
and
the thing.
they were both kids. Yeah, and then Penny come walking in. She just turned around and walked back out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you wouldn't want to try that out with your buddy, but
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Big
yeah.
Bang
So
Theory. Great. That was great sitcom. Great sitcom.
nympho mode. Yeah, that you actually, you know what? That's why I thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I eventually canceled cable because I realized the only thing I watch on cable, which it's been years now, but the only thing I watched was Big Bang Theory reruns.
Yeah,
And I'm
and
like,
yeah,
you don't even need cable for
you know,
that. Yeah.
no, not anymore. You don't.
But that's what I used to put on in the background. That was like the background,
I knew
when
a
I was
girl
doing
that
whatever.
I say I knew a girl. I met a girl that knew that entire song, and I'm like, "There's something wrong," That was,
Oh, the theme song.
yeah, the whole knew the whole song, not just then however it goes.
Now here's the
She,
thing about that Bazinga. Yeah.
Bazinga, yeah.
But here's the thing about that theme song. That's of course by all right, we'll do some trivia, see if chat knows. You know who does the theme song, right?
Yes,
All right. We'll see if chat knows real quick.
I don't really, but I just wanted to sound smart and say yes. I
Oh,
have no
okay.
idea.
So
I
all right.
I have no idea.
But there's an interesting fact about this that bothers me about because I love the band that sings the theme
Oh,
song.
oh, oh! You're talking about the band that sings that song. I
Yeah.
didn't know that's what you meant, and I still have no idea.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll see if chat knows. But the thing is, and then uh let's see. Hope watched Trap. I haven't seen that. Pat watched the full moon last night. Tonight, no moon at all. Strange. Yeah, I think was last night when Hope was posting her pictures in the
Night
chat.
before, night before, I think.
Was there a red moon? Am I imagining this? I got weird
I
sleep patterns now. I don't know. Was it a red
Me
moon?
too.
I think it was a red moon. I was listening to somebody Thursday night. Jeez, it's Thursday night already. So
Wow, it's not
all
Thursday night.
right. Chat hasn't answered yet. So the band that sings that song, Gra, uh more cheese, Brian, the Eclipse. All right, we'll get so the band. So yeah, I get thrown off track easily. So we'll get to the band and then we'll get back to chat. But
Me
it's
too.
the Bare Naked Ladies, the Bare Naked Ladies.
Oh, okay, okay.
And so the thing about the Bare Naked Ladies is they have two singers, right? They have, and I forget both their names now, but they have the one that sang like broke into the broke into the old apartment, right? So that one. And then there's the singer that sings uh, the Big Bang Theory theme song.
And so was that song a thing before the sitcom or vice versa?
No, it was not a thing. And
It was
and
written for the sitcom.
yeah, and there's a lot of there's more verses. There's more verses and
Oh,
different
that's
things.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This girl knew, like, it's yeah, it's a whole complete.
Yeah. But so now, but the other guy, the other singer's the one that I really liked. He was one of the founding members that sang Old Apartment and a lot of their big hits. I mean, the other guy sang a lot of big hits too. But the one that I liked, isn't it, that he got kicked out of the band before they did the Big Bang Theory for drinking too much. I think he
Oh,
either kicked himself out or he got kicked out. So, yeah, which was a bummer. But I never realized that until I started listening, like, I don't hear him in there. And then I did a little investigating, and that's because he got kicked out or kicked himself out, one of the two. So there's a little Big Bang Theory trivia for you. Hope says Red Moon. I think your Gra's cutting out.
oh, am I? Am I breaking up?
Oh, there you go. Now you're back. Are we in for 10 days of darkness? I don't think so. Can you imagine that? I can't imagine that. Would you think that?
If you're a robot and you're sleeping with Kim Kardashian,
You might have a
you may have 10 days of darkness.
oh, look at this. Hope never seen a full episode of the Big Bang Theory.
What? Okay, I don't even know. Why did we talk to her?
That's why she joins the stream, just to tell us things that she has not done.
It would be easier to just name the two movies that she has seen. Now, I know that she has
Look,
seen.
Indy hasn't seen a full episode either. There's two people in the chat.
Okay,
Wow,
all right.
that's wild.
I need to just go ahead and kick them out right now. I'll be right back.
That's wild.
How do I block them?
That's wild.
What was it?
I think I've seen every episode probably.
Oh, I'm sure I have. Absolutely, and more than once probably.
Yeah,
because some of those I'll watch when I'm going to sleep at night.
And then they did like young Sheldon. Remember Sheldon and
yeah, I watched that too.
Yeah, they went back and did like
they have a new sitcom now with the older brother. What's his name?
Oh, do they really? Yeah, no, I don't know about that. Yeah,
yeah, he has a brand new sitcom of his own.
Mike's admonishing Hope and Indy.
Okay, who joined us?
Good evening, Hope. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
Instant gratification.
I wonder what's up with your guys' avatars. Is it because of my settings or something? Or I don't know.
It must be, yeah.
I have to put mine back in, I think.
Let me see. Maybe it's my settings. Let's see. If I end the show, sorry. Oh. No.
No. Oh.
No, yeah, okay. All right.
That's all right.
Welcome. It's all right. It's fine.
Yeah.
So where were we? Oh, the Big Bang Theory. Hope and Indy haven't seen a full episode. Yeah. 10 days.
It was. So I'm like up late last night and I fall asleep and I wake up this morning like 9 or 10 a.m. And I evidently fell asleep with YouTube on.
Yeah.
And I wake up and guess what movies? There's a movie playing, and Hope had just mentioned that her and her friends watched it the other night that they had never seen before.
Oh, a musical.
No.
Close
Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh, wow.
Well, I have that movie, but I mean, I've seen it multiple times.
Oh, your friend hadn't seen it. That was the deal.
Right.
Okay. All right. Now I'm up to speed.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
I'm short.
You're sure?
No, you're old and
Oh, I'm
forgetful.
old and forgetful.
Yeah, that's Close Encounters is a good movie. I watched that not too long ago too.
Yeah, yeah. I paused it. They were just at the part where they're getting ready to climb the Devil's Tower. I'm like,
Oh. The mashed potatoes is that, and then when he throws all the plants in the living room, favorite part.
oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
That's with Richard Dreyfuss is in that, right? Richard Dreyfuss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to go back and watch it again.
I think we're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
That's what he
what
said
did they
in
do?
Jaws.
Oh,
Wasn't it him that said that in Jaws?
yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying
I've
to
never
think.
seen Jaws, so.
Oh my.
Let's see.
Oh, my
Okay. Okay. That's enough, Hope. That's just
But-
enough. That's
But
enough
I
of you.
do know a fun fact about Jaws.
Okay.
All right.
Do you
I
know
bet it's
what
about the mechanical shark. No?
it is? Do you know what his name is?
Bruce.
Oh,
Yes.
I answered too fast, Bruce. But yeah, I love Jaws. Yeah, that's
Yep.
where they. That's where they named that shark in what Finding Nemo. Is it Finding Nemo named Bruce? Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they did that as a paying homage to Jaws.
Mike says Hope is definitely admonished.
Indy hasn't seen Jaws either, apparently.
Okay, listen.
No, I think
okay.
I think. Oh, she hasn't. I thought that was for The Big Bang Theory. Wow. Oh my gosh.
So she hasn't seen Close Encounters. She hasn't seen Terminator. She hasn't seen Terminator
I've
2.
seen
She
Close
hasn't
Encounters
seen
of the
Jaws.
Third Kind multiple
Well, I'm talking
times.
about Indy, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Indy.
it's hard for me to imagine but they're a little younger. But when I was a kid, man, that was like the two biggest events. Jaws. Well, there were three huge events in my life as far as movies.
Star Wars.
Star Wars, of course. Star Wars, Jaws, and Smokey and the Bandit.
Well, now see, Jaws was great because back then, on the weekend you would take your girlfriend to the lake and then you go swimming at night, and then while she's out there paddling around, you dive under the water and sneak up behind her and ooh, dun 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 dun.
Not the
Yeah.
show or just.
E.T. would be one of the big movies of my life.
Yeah, well, E.T. was a big one too. When did that came out in 1984, maybe, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, early 84 or 82, but
Yeah. That was a big one. I just found a steelbook version of that.
Close Encounters, I didn't realize was 1977.
Yeah. Well, that was the same years. That was one of the greatest years for movies. 77.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Well, there was a bet between Spielberg and Lucas for both of those, for A New Hope and Close Encounters.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
There was a bet. You said?
There was a bet, and Lucas ended up owing. It was Luke. It had been Lucas. Ended up owing Spielberg like
$4,000.
no more than $4,000. It was like $2 or $20 million. I forget how much it was, but
Why? Because why? Because was it Jaws did better at the box office or something?
no, he thought that Close Encounters of the Third Kind was going to do better than Star Wars.
Oh wow!
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there was. It's funny. It's funny that because there at that time period, and then before. I mean, science fiction movies have always been huge, right? Star Wars was just kind of a fluke. Why that was so huge? I think it just came out at the right time. It had the right story, right actor. I don't know, because there are so many sci-fi movies that why did Star Wars hit? It just came out at the right time. Oh yeah. D-Dog wants to know about Rock and Roll High School. Roger Corman. That's a Roger Corman movie, which obviously hits home with me, or Student Bodies. Yeah, Rock and Roll High School. I could go on hours and hours about that movie, because obviously I played with Mark, and Mark was in Rock and Roll High School. We've been by it in Hollywood, where they filmed it, and yeah, that's a Roger Corman movie, Rock and Roll High School, which they just re-released on Shout Factory. But
There's hopes, Harry Con.
and Student Bodies, I'd have to see again, but I did see that. I do remember that. But yeah, anyway, wow. So yeah, there was just so many but that was a really great year for movies. But it was wild that Star Wars, because there's so much science fiction. I mean, did you ever see The Last Starfighter, or some of those just really great science fiction movies that weren't as big as Star Wars? But yeah,
I've seen the Starman or
Oh.
Starman.
Oh yeah.
I see. I see that one. That's a good show.
So that was a John Carpenter movie, right? Yeah. This is funny, Devil Dog. Howard the Duck was actually, when I think about a year ago, The Last Starfighter. Yeah. What a great movie. My favorite. The Parker's Mine. Awesome.
Fun little odd fact.
Yeah.
I'm watching my late night Fox, whatever it was last night, with Jimmy whatever his name is. And there's a guy on the panel wearing a hat that says Tulsa, and he like points at it, like, say it's Tulsa. And I'm like, okay, who's this guy? And they get to talking, and it's the guy that bought the house here in Tulsa, where everybody from The Outsiders, the house they were all living in when they made that movie, The Outsiders.
Oh wow!
So
I've never seen that movie.
See, there you go. And I bet Andy hasn't either.
No. We're gonna have to have a recommended movies. I think a lot of the streams have turned into recommended movie streams.
Exactly. And the funny thing about The Outsiders, Hope, is that was the first movie for a lot of really superstars.
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze, right? Name some David. Emilio Estevez.
Yeah, it's like American Graffiti. It's just loaded full of future stars. Yeah.
I've never seen that one either, David.
Yeah.
I gotta look.
This is really hard stream to do, really, to be honest with you.
But
really getting hard
to finish my little fun fact about the guy that owns the house here in Tulsa where The Outsiders was filmed, and he had purchased it and the land. He made a museum out of it, blah blah blah. But they've got a new Broadway musical, The Outsiders, coming out now.
Well, I'd watch that.
Yeah, that's how Hope will finally see The Outsiders.
Yes.
Yeah,
and they were talking about it. Now they were saying that it wasn't going to be woke, and I'm like, now how can it be a Broadway musical if it's not woke? I mean, that's just kind of
right.
That's one go hand in hand with the other.
Prerequisite. Have you seen this movie Mike's talking about? The Park Is Mine is a good Veterans Day movie. I don't think I've seen that. Yeah.
No.
I'll have to check that out. That's his favorite, so I'll definitely have to check that out. But yeah, The Outsiders was loaded full of talented people. American Graffiti, you got to see that, Hope. You got to see that.
Yeah, just their first movie. Yeah.
That was the whole Suzanne Summers thing, if you remember.
Yes.
Remember that?
55 T-Bird. Yeah.
Yeah. When we used to talk about Suzanne Summers all the time, she comes cruising by in her T-Bird, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I remember telling you didn't realize that was her. And I'm like, yeah, that was her first movie.
No, I didn't. Yeah. That's why I ordered the movie. And that's a great movie. That's a good movie to see. I forget where I was going to go, but that's interesting. So the guy bought The Outsiders house, and it's in Tulsa, huh?
Yeah, over on the north side of Tulsa, which is not the necessarily the premier side of Tulsa, but yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's a great. I have to watch that movie again too. The
Yeah,
Outsiders.
there were so many first time people that were
Oh,
discovered just out of that movie. I can't even remember who all they were. You know.
oh, Devil Dog said Howard the Duck. I wanted to touch on that for a second because when I first got the 4K player a year ago, people were going on about how great Howard the Duck was on 4K, so I ordered it. And I'll tell you, it looks great, but wow, that's a crazy, stupid movie. That's like, it's fun, but it's so silly, but it looks great in 4K.
I watched that a long time ago, and I can't remember what it was about at all.
But you'll like this. Fun fact is that it was the whole place where he landed or whatever was Cleveland, Ohio, right? The whole premise is in Cleveland. Yeah. And so a lot of, I was looking at all the signage in the back and stuff. It's all local Cleveland stuff. So I didn't realize that before when I had seen it. But yeah, I mean, that's an interesting, fun movie, but really weird. Yeah, definitely. And I think that was from a comic book, Howard the Duck.
Yeah, that was part of the Marvel universe.
Shows how to not F with the vet. Well, I like that. Then we'll have to check that out. Yeah. What was the name of it again? The Park Is Mine. All right, I'll write that down too. I got the Gamma people. I'm back to writing things down, Ground. Hope. Let's see.
Oh,
got the notebook?
Got the notebook.
I got the notebook out here.
Now, I don't care if anybody has watched the Notebook. I don't even want to hear about it.
I've seen that movie.
Yeah, I'm sure she's seen that.
I'm sure Indy has seen it too. And all right. I guarantee Hope has seen it more than once.
No, maybe a few times, but it's not. I don't like romantic movies. Like, I feel like if I see a romantic movie, then I need to watch like a mob movie or something like that.
Just to equal out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Tommy Lee Jones is in that. All right. Go ahead.
I forget what movie. Oh yeah, we were watching South Pacific, right? And my friend was like, "Oh, like I'm surprised you like this because it's kind of a romance." And I was like, "Well, I don't know if you've seen South Pacific, but I mean,
isn't that the one with the Sandy Beach love scene? Is that South Pacific?
No, that's not it.
That's okay. That's Blue Lagoon. That's Blue Lagoon, I think.
No, not that.
That's From Here to Eternity, I think is what you're thinking of.
Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But she's like, "Oh, I'm surprised that you like this." And I was like, "Well, so and so dies, so like it's a it's a good equal balance there."
Now the Notebook is a it's a good movie. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
It is. I agree.
I think that I don't know why these fit in the same category for me is the Notebook and Brokeback Mountain.
Now that one I've never watched, and
I never watched that at all either. But I have a funny. The reason I'm bringing it up is because I have a funny story about it.
I don't want to know. I don't. Hey, Blackwatch.
Blackwatch, what's going on?
Now, so, here's another movie. Sorry to interrupt. That I'm sure people like. They won't admit they watch. Is Cocoon. I thought Cocoon was a good.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Actually, I have that on DVD, which was hard to find. I won't put that in the same category as Brokeback Mountain. No.
Oh no.
That has the guy from the diabetes commercial.
Yeah. Brimley,
Wilford Brimley.
Right? Yeah.
Wilford Brimley. Yeah,
I got
and the
diabetes.
Daughter and Raquel Welch's daughter.
Yeah.
Plays the little alien girl.
No, I never watched Brokeback Mountain, but I have a funny story. My mom, when she was still alive, and her boyfriend at the time, who was still alive, and he was a real tall, big, manly man, right? My mom wanted to get him to watch Brokeback Mountain, and he didn't want any part of it, at all. So but he would always do things he would do things that were out of his character all the time for my mom, It was fun. He was good like that. But anyway, so one day after work, she comes home and they're sitting there, and he had an awesome theater room, man. We used to go over there all the time and help him set up all this. He had just the best theater room. And my mom comes home from work and says, we're going to watch a movie. And she just pops in Brokeback Mountain. And my mom said he got like 5 minutes into it and he went over to the Blu-ray player, ejected it, broke it, and threw it in the trash. And so my mom never seen it either.
then he put in an episode of Three's Company and wound up kicking the TV.
Yeah.
Speaking of Three's Company, I saw this on
Hello, Lady
Twitter
Camping.
X.
Good to see it.
Did you know that the original, like the pilot episode of Three's Company, the theme song when it played at the beginning, did not have the two main girls. What's her name? Chrissy and
knocking my door. Take us something.
Yeah, it didn't have either of the two main characters on the screen.
Oh, really? Just Jack Tripper? Was it
Jack, and then it was all about the neighbors.
Yeah, that show went through a lot of different changes. I know it had different openings. It had one at the San Diego Zoo.
Yeah.
I think Eddie said the one the other day. I think he said it was at Santa Monica Pier.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And the kids that were in that opening scene or whatever were the children of the actors that were in Three's Company at that time. Those were their kids petting the goat or whatever it was. Remember?
Oh yeah. And so and then they went through different changes because first you had Mr. and Mrs. Roper.
Yeah, and then you had the sitcom The Ropers.
And then you had Mr. Furley. Yeah. Don Knotts.
Yeah.
I'm hearing myself back.
Yeah, do you have David on? Gra.
No.
There's a bad echo.
Coming from my end?
Yeah, coming from you.
Oh, hold on. Let me see.
Help the fella out.
What does this red button do?
I think it was the red button.
It's still echoing?
Yeah.
And he's gone. Gra, why did you leave us?
What happened? He pushed the red button.
He pushed the red button. I think it was his way to get off the stream.
Oh, I got you. See you, Indy. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks
Bye,
for
Indy.
hanging out. Hi, Lady Campion. So, yeah. So Gra pushed. Yeah, he wanted to go, so he was putting on his TV and.
Probably. That's what we're gonna say.
Yeah, Gra, what the heck? It's the Brokeback Mountain. He went to watch that.
Probably.
He went to watch that referral.
It's his favorite movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but my mom's boyfriend broke it, and that was it. That was the end of that movie.
That's hysterical.
but he normally went along with things, but he was not on for that. He was not going. That for sure. So
no, Gra actually went back in.
Okay, let's find the link. Let's see, invite. Okay. Paste her up. There we go. All right. I'll turn the camera on in a second. So the weather has been wild. I know you sent the wind up, like this crazy tornado like wind up from Columbus area.
Yeah, you're welcome for that.
Yeah, that was nice. Let's see here. Gra, welcome back. Welcome back to the stage.
Yeah, it was I had the stream on the same phone that I'm on StreamYards, and it wouldn't let me clear it, so I had to bounce. But anyway,
Right. Mm.
Hope's fault.
Oh yeah, all my fault.
Yeah, we'll blame her. That sounds
So we're going to
good.
have to, Hope, at some point, we're going to have some type of fish intervention with you over there. What's is up with you and all of the fish that don't seem to have a very long life? What's going on over there?
The one, like the sucker fish that bit the dust tonight, it was really weird because like I put him in the little tank so that I could clean the big tank, and as soon as I put him in there, like he started acting funky. Like, well, not as soon as, but like he would shoot up to the top and like stick half of his body out of the water, and then like shoot back down to the bottom and like hit himself on the bottom and just like go limp. And I was like, what in the heck? And then he'd like revive himself and then do the same thing over and over again. I'm like, this is like a kamikaze fish.
Yeah.
So something's going on because it's happening when you clean the tank, right? It happened
Not
last
all the time, no. And then the
And
the other one, just the fish. So they get swimmer's bladder and they go like sideways or upside down, and you have to feed them peas to get them to right themselves. So
Did you say peas?
yeah, peas.
Like the vegetable?
Mm-hmm. So you get frozen peas, you warm them up with a little bit of water, and then you pinch
No,
them.
you just take a frozen bag of peas and just beat them in the head with it, David.
And so you
feeding the fish peas.
Yeah. So then you, after you warm them up, you pinch the peas a little bit, so like the pea pods are gone.
Yeah.
You only have like the inside.
Wait a second. I'm trying to keep track of all these jokes I want to tell.
Right.
And then a lot of them will float in the water. Some of them sink, but and you just feed them that for a few days, and it usually rights them.
I've never heard of that.
Mm-hmm. It's happened a few times to.
I'm this many years old before I knew that you could feed fish peas.
You can feed them a lot of different vegetables.
What happens if you feed them catnip tea?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Probably won't do very well.
It wouldn't be a good thing. Okay.
I used to have, man, I often wonder where I had that whole bag. I had a whole bag of that catnip tea and I lost it somewhere.
Really?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I had like, yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I don't know if someone smoked it or something. Maybe they thought it was something.
Yeah, exactly. That was my first thought too, is someone snagged your bag, has been smoking your catnip tea.
I think that might have happened because it was on my table in there at that time frame, and then one day it just disappeared, and I've never seen it again.
So, did your cat start acting weird after that?
I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I mean,
neighbor been climbing the tree naked or anything?
That was a lot. I mean, I had a big stack of that. Mike says you can feed them corn and chum water. All right. Corn.
Has your neighbor been chasing the birds or anything lately?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't think I smoked it or drank it all. I don't know. Maybe I did drink. It was good though. I can't. Yeah, that was good. It put me to sleep. It was good. Works better than melatonin does.
You gave it to your daughter, I believe, too.
Oh, did I really? Oh,
I think so.
Maybe that's what happened to it. Maybe she drank it all.
There you go.
All right. That was a wild thing to learn, though. What's up, Van Life?
About catnip or the peas?
Well, both. Yeah, I didn't know about. I mean, this is a tropical fish thing. I got the tank down here, and I was trying to do tropical fish for a long time, but I did the same thing. I just killed them all. I got like cool frogs to put in there. You know, those little tiny ones, or toads, or frogs. Dead. I was either had the water too hot, frying them, too cold. Who knows? You know, it's too hot. So then I just threw a goldfish in there. The goldfish will live through it. You don't have to do anything.
Well, see now, and just while we're on the subject, didn't put a pin in it. I was going to mention to Hope that I do know that whenever you take like a fish out and you change the water or whatever, and put it back in there, that the water's a different temperature. So you're supposed to put the fish like in a baggie or whatever, and set that
Right.
baggie in the water until the water inside the baggie acclimates to the same temperature as the water in the tank, and then
Yeah.
just
Yeah, that
I didn't
is
know if you knew that or not.
that's when you get new fish. This was just
Oh,
changing
okay.
the water. Um,
Oh,
so
okay.
just I don't know. So it's like goldfish in particular have like I looked it up so I can get specific. They have a gas-filled organ in their body that helps them control buoyancy, and when that gets out of whack, that's when they swim upside down or on their side. So that's when you feed them because like mine fish is currently upside down and it's alive, like it's swimming upside down.
I never heard of this. I never heard of this. Is all new to me.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. So the survival time for a fish with swim bladder disease depends on the severity of the condition of it. So it could recover in a few weeks or a few days to a couple of weeks, or they may not survive. So I don't know.
Wow.
This is wild. Yeah, I never been through this with the fish, but I know that even with goldfish, if you're going to put the water in the tank, when the tank evaporates, you got to put more water in there.
Right.
But you have to leave the water sit out for a couple days so that the metals and the crap in the water dissipate. So just think about that. We drink that water that would kill the fish, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's crazy. I try not to drink it. I try not to. I never drink tap water, except for, which is bad, coffee sometimes.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter now because the fish eat the plastic and we eat the fish, and now you have plastic in your brain. Have you seen that on the news? That's fucking insane.
No, I haven't.
Oh
seen
yeah,
that.
microplastic. Google it or whatever. Duck.
That's why I got
like-
all new pots and pans at Christmas, because if
Really?
you scrape if you have like a nonstick pan with
Yes.
plastic coating and you have a scratch in it, that releases thousands and probably millions of plastic particles.
Yes, it's unbelievable. It gets in your blood. Gets in your blood veins. You know, I'm
And
like every
then-
time I get a headache, I'm like, oh my god, I got plastic in my brain. I'm going to die. So you get
Well, I mean, I watched the movie Dark Waters, and that's how I learned all about it, because that was the Teflon case.
I think I've
Mark's
seen that.
Mike's saying Teflon, so yeah, I think that's
Yep.
right.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what it is like.
Turn into mannequins. Yeah, it might work. But that, what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say about. They were just talking about that. Like, I don't know if it's true, but possibly in Girl Scout. I mean, everything.
Mhm.
Girl Scout, everything.
Yeah, I've seen Girl Scout cookies are really bad.
Everything you eat, I knew that when I had to change the way I eat with diabetes, is that everything in the store is just junk. I mean, there's very few things that you can really safely eat. Well, I mean, if your pancreas works right, you can digest sugar and all that, but I mean, it's just not good for you. But yeah, wow. And your pots and pans. Mike's going to be RoboCop. Chlorine dissipates. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. There's so much. Yeah, there's so much because we're doing it cheaper, right? We're doing things cheaper for many years now. Disposable and cheaper.
They were talking about this microplastic on the news night before last, and I'm like, okay, so I'm like, where is the main place that we're consuming microplastics from? Where would you guess? Just off the top of your head, take a wild guess. Where would you think?
Consuming micro.
Yeah,
I'll say steak, meat.
No. Plastic water or bottled water. Your
Yeah.
bottle
Yeah.
when you crack the lid on that plastic bottle,
Yeah.
that's when you get the microplastics in your water. And I'm thinking, yes, Mike Herrera says plastic water or bottled water,
Mike's
but
got it. Yeah.
it was just 2 years ago. I finally convinced myself to start drinking bottled water instead of water out of the tap. and come to find out, what,
What's
it's like the worst
yeah?
thing
What's
you can do.
yeah? What do you can? I mean, maybe if you filter everything, right? Will the filter take that stuff out?
Well, that's a good question, because I was actually talking to Pamela about it. I'm like, so can I use a coffee filter? She's like, no, you need to go buy this $40,000 water filtration system for your
Oh,
not. Well, no, I'm kidding. I'm exaggerating. But
right. Yeah. I mean, I have one on my fridge.
me
It's
too. That you got to keep changing out all the time. I'm like, I
yeah,
changed
which
it
is
one time, and then, like 6 months later, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this every
and they're
month.
so expensive too, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
But you get that little water jug or whatever, from what I understand it, and it has the HEPA filter. I think it's what it's called.
yeah. I used to use one just in like a carafe type thing, but now the fridge does it. So I mean, I hope that's a little
Yeah,
bit better. Reverse osmosis, $150.
yeah.
What's up?
Mike,
What's up, Black Watch? Good to see you.
Good evening. I don't know the gentleman's name. Hope. I'm not sure.
Hey, Black
And that
Watch.
and
yeah,
God, God rides a Harley. Gra, we call him Gra.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I remember. You sound like somebody else I know. He's from Georgia and he's running around in a small motor home all over the
Yeah.
south.
oh,
Oh well,
Sam Elliott. No,
he sounds like Sam L.
He's
Well,
from
I wanted
the
Black
Bears.
Watch is from Canada, guys, so we're gonna have to add a
yeah,
tariff to his.
Hey?
Yeah.
He remembers my name, I think.
No, I remember God rides a Harley. Yeah. He's
Yeah,
been around for years.
yeah. So what's going on?
Oh, it's just funny you mentioned particles. I don't know if my dad did it, but I started pumping gas in my godfather. He had a huge Texaco station. So I started to pump gas when I was about 11 or 12. And they used to send me, if they put a cup of coffee, the mechanics, whatever, black, it would turn my stomach. But they'd send me across the street to the restaurant for coffee. And it's usually like a cardboard kind of, cup type of thing. I went over there one night and the owner looked at me like, what's the matter? Well, he put it in a styrofoam cup. I had never seen one before in my life. So that's about the time where all this styrofoam, you know what I mean? The changeover,
Oh, right, yeah,
plastics and everything. I had never seen a styrofoam cup. I never saw one in my life. And I guess they started to get them in to keep it warm. And I'm looking at them like, where'd you put the coffee?
Well, yeah. I mean, there was a time frame, right? Probably around, I don't know what year that was, but there was a time frame where we started to do things on the go, right? So that's where this all took a turn, right?
And there's a
Styrofoam.
fun fact
Yeah.
about that styrofoam is the half-life on that stuff is something like 20,000 years before it actually breaks down. And ironically, it's one of the things that you can't recycle. So styrofoam and your plastic bags that come from Walmart, both of those go straight to the landfill, because the half-life on those things before they completely dissolve or whatever, it's like 20 to 40,000 years.
Yeah. This was around 62.
62, yeah, sounds about right.
Oh, Van Life, Black Watch Van Life would like you to say about so that he could laugh.
Say what?
About.
A boat.
No, I don't say a boot. I say about.
About. There we go. Yeah.
About.
What's it all about, Alfie?
Mhm. People on the prairies have an accent to me, which I don't. So we won't get into Quebec when they speak English.
Oh, you're talking about the 51st state?
Don't
Yeah.
because there's a big state going on up here about that.
Can you speak French, Black Watch?
Un petit peu, monsieur.
A little bit.
Yeah. All right.
I didn't do so well with Spanish, German, and what was the other one? Latin in high school or junior high as well. The problem with French is articles like tables are gender written, are gender
I did real good. Did real good with French. I did real good with French in high school.
You did good in French. Yeah. Yeah, French is I was trying to learn French for a while. It is gender specific. Yeah.
You're talking
That's the
about
same
the
with
language.
Spanish.
Oh, you're talking about the kissing. I thought
You're talking about the language.
The language of love.
Like if you look at the musical Les Mis, that's a masculine plural. Masculine plural. Les, L-E-S.
I think you're talking Hope's language now, Les Mis.
Nothing
Right?
sexier than
It's
nothing
miserable.
sexier than a redneck trying to talk French.
Yeah. Yeah, let's hear you. Let's hear some French, Gra. Let's get out. What's that?
Mademoiselle.
I forget. What's that app that you can learn? You can learn the
Duolingo?
yeah, that's what I was learning on Duolingo. And I could answer the questions, you know what I mean? Like I could answer, but I couldn't understand anybody speaking French. Yeah. Let alone speak it. So
Hablas español?
Can you guys, this lady that came up on my X feed today, let me see if I can find her picture. I screenshot it. You got to see this. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Hold on. All right. 1 second. Hold on.
It's right over there, right next to your Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, right next to my copy of that.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Hold on. Let me see if did I screen? Yeah, here we go. All right. Let me edit it. Or let me cover this up so you can't see the answer. Look at this lady, right? This young lady.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Guys, did you guys all get a good look at her?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Her name is Valentina Vassilieva. Valentina Vassilieva.
Sounds like a feminine hygiene product.
And you saw her, right? Here she is. Right.
Uh-huh.
All right. So she holds a world's record. What do you think she holds a world's record in?
Oh, is that the girl that's having sex with all the people?
Well,
All the kids? Huh? Is that her?
No, that's not her, girl. I've seen her picture.
I couldn't see the picture.
You're about half right, Gra. You're almost half right. Because
Probably having the most children.
wow, Hope got it.
There you go.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So Gra's kind of right, and Hope's right.
Well, yeah, the girl that I was talking about, she had sex with 1,000 men in 24 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she holds that record. Now
And
she's having.
Well,
oh yes, and now she's on the quest to have sex with as many people, as many guys as she can. That's on spring break.
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That's her latest endeavor, and I'm like, just like that, all of a sudden, Gra and David are gone to spring break.
That's rough. That's rough, man. That is rough. But this Valentina, no, I can't.
Me neither.
I can't imagine. But this Valentina, how many kids do you think she had?
Ooh, I'm gonna a totally wild guess. I'm gonna say. It's according to how old she is. Does it say how old she is?
I think she lived to be. I cut it off. I just screenshot it. I think she did live to be like close to 80. We'll say close to 80.
Oh, okay. So she's dead. She probably died giving childbirth. So let me see.
I'll say 30 just off the top of my head. 30.
All right. 30 sounds like a good answer. What else?
Yeah, I'd say more than 30.
Yeah, Valentina. Hope's got a guess.
Between 40 and 60 is what I think I remember reading. Because it was a lot of multiples that she had.
Hope's right. Van Life says 18. Valentina had 69 children.
Yeah, I was thinking it was close. To
My goodness.
69 children.
I hope she had a pretty big shoe to live in.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's like
Yeah.
you're popping. Oh man, how do you? If you
Yeah,
do the math on that, do the math on that. That's like 50 years of her life. What?
No, she had a lot of multiples though.
Yeah,
She had
yeah.
like triplets and
Oh, okay.
like multiple
Yeah.
sets of triplets, multiple sets of twins.
Octomom. Yeah.
Yeah, she had a lot of. I wish I had a screenshot the more information, but yeah, she had multiples. Yeah, exactly.
What'd you say? 62? Holy God.
69 children.
Oh, of course. There's an easy number to remember.
69, which, yeah, so that kind of fits in with the spring break girl and that, yeah. But yeah,
And if
she had multiples.
Would have done more
She
at 69. She wouldn't have had as many kids either. So.
She had
Well-
16 pairs of twins, 7 sets of triplets, and 4 sets of quadruplets.
Well,
Wow.
Here's all her kids right here.
I could imagine her going to a doctor and say, "Are things working okay? Are you kidding?"
Yeah, it's
And
like,
she had them between
like chicken egg.
1725 to 1765. So it was, I mean, super dangerous at that time too.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh, that long ago. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Yeah, and
Yeah.
all the boys were named George.
But I mean, I know that like even just a couple generations back, it was, pretty common to have a ton of kids, 7, 8 kids, but 69 kids.
She gave birth 27 times. So, I mean,
Was it with one guy?
one guy.
With one guy, Gra.
Really? Holy!
Apparently,
God.
the father went on to have 18 more children with a second wife.
Wow.
So that guy never used aftershave, right?
So he had 80. So he had 87 kids. Holy!
So there's a good chance, just out of that guy alone, we're all kind of related. I mean, 87 people got around, and how many kids do they have? That's crazy. All
It's
by
not
one guy.
confirmed, though. It's there are skeptics of it, but
What does it say where she was from? I don't know where she was from.
Yeah,
Was she
Russia.
where Russia?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Toledo.
Valentina.
Toledo. She's not from
Toledo.
Ohio. She's not from Ohio.
Valentina is a Russian name, usually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's crazy. I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, what's the child support for 80, 70 kids?
Yeah. I don't know. That's crazy.
And it said
God,
67 survived of the 69 births. So
Yeah, there's that aspect too.
Yeah,
You
I don't
should
know.
Just start like a football league.
You could start pretty much anything, a city, a town. I wonder. I mean, I do wonder how many. I mean, the follow up on this story. How many kids did those kids have? Like, how many? I mean, is half of Russia from these 1, 2?
Yeah, I was gonna say, odds are we're probably all related somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're right.
There was a guy that went on, not that I watch it, it was old. Britain Got Talent, Chris Clafford. And he had like, your beard is flourishing, big beard, long hair. Anyway, the point is, well, you have a girlfriend. And he says, it's pretty hard. I'm from Sweden. And it's pretty hard when the small town I lived in, everybody was related to me. So now you know how you populate it. You have 6,000 kids, right? Everybody's related.
Well,
Wow.
you know the old saying: when you live in a small town, you don't lose your girlfriend; you just lose your turn.
your family tree doesn't fork, right, or whatever.
No.
There's not. Yeah, there's just like one root.
Yeah, it's just straight up. Doesn't branch
Yeah,
off anywhere.
There's no branches.
Yeah, it's just one straight pole. It's a totem pole, basically.
It's actually a telephone pole.
Yeah,
Yeah, a telephone pole.
that's crazy. That's a lot of children. That's a lot of children. That's crazy.
Did
Yeah.
she have Medicare or did she?
Yeah, I don't know. She had Obamacare, I think. Obamacare. Mm. That's it. Totem pole. Yeah, that's right, Mike.
It
Yeah.
says totem pole. Yeah, totem
Yeah.
pole.
So it's
It's like
family trees a totem
Just
pole.
one bird sitting on the top.
Yeah, that's all I had from Twitter. Everything else was we were talking about television. Here's a guy. Yeah, everything else is like turn off your television. All these kind of stories. Yeah, nothing as fun as the 69 kids. Trying to
What
think
gets
what else.
me? What gets me? Hopes. What did you say was like in the 1800s?
1700s,
Holy,
18th century.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was early 18th
You know,
century, so I mean that's why it's
that's
super dangerous for women to have kids, especially back then, because a
Well,
lot of
shit,
times
they
they
need
survive.
something else to do. Play soccer or something. You know.
Nah,
But do a puzzle. You know. Good God. I mean,
Not in Russia. I mean,
uh,
it's cold. They
was
got to
just-
warm up somehow, Graw.
they're warming themselves up. That's just crazy. That's crazy. I was just watching the video of your fish here, Hope. That's crazy. It's swimming sideways.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, not a family tree, a stick. Yeah, so that's crazy.
I think most women will say after the first, her gynecologist will say, well, I'll see you in 4 years. I guess her doctor said, I'll see you in about 10 months, you know?
Yeah, I'll see you in 4 weeks. I'll see you in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that's mathematically possible, but I guess it is. So they're setting great records over there in Russia. Let's see.
of course, obviously, this was before TV, so
And right, Matt says no Viagra, right? Yeah, yeah. No, that's insane and crazy. I've never heard anything remotely close to that. I couldn't believe it. I was just clicking on her picture because she looked like a sweet old lady, but I didn't realize she was a horn dog. What was her name? Virginia?
Valentino.
Valentino. Mom. Octomom.
When the
That
name
was another crazy
Valentino,
one.
you know,
Yeah.
that's probably where Valentine's Day comes from.
Right.
it probably is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
might
it's
be.
after St. Valentine, but
It is St. Valentine Day. I think I heard somewhere that the eldest woman was oldest, whatever, was 91 or 92 when she conceived, which is kind of the oldest woman to conceive a child.
Yeah, that was the last time I delivered anything to her house.
That was your old girlfriend?
This my old girlfriend.
Mm.
She had the best butterscotch candy, though.
Yeah. I mean, the smell of butterscotch just melted
It's
your
still-
heart.
Yeah, just to this day, I get a little thing going on anytime I smell butterscotch.
and then she turned on Brokeback Mountain, and he was just done for.
Yeah, whipped out the
Oh.
Bengay and just
Oh, man. The smell of Bengay in the morning and butterscotch.
and that purple hair dye. Something about that just does it.
Oh, my.
And talcum powder.
I mean, you could still
Yeah.
conceive at 92. How is that physically possible? I mean, it's just like a freak accident that she physically could still do that, right? I mean, that's not common whatsoever at all, right?
You lied to me when you're 45. I told you I was just having a hard time.
All right. Wow. All right.
She didn't look a day over 88.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. That's crazy. Yeah. There's got to be some jokes here, right? I'm sure, jokes about taking out her teeth and stuff like that, right, Gra? That's cool.
Yeah, there's something about those women with that shaky hand that have Parkinson's. Too much. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's funny. This has never been written before. Here, I'm going to put it up on the screen.
If you read up on that woman, 1,000 Men, and exactly how it happens, I'd argue that's not sex. But
Yeah,
that's not that.
And I didn't read up on that because I was going to say, what? How? Yeah, is there like a time limit, or is it just like?
Yes. I think that's where Americans quoted the Minutemen stories. Yeah, there is a time.
Well, I would think that at that age you would be in a hurry, wouldn't you? You'd be because you don't. I mean, because we say things like tomorrow is not promised, but that might be like the afternoon's not promised.
Yeah, this is like the.
Oh man, and she could probably cook though. She could probably cook though.
And she has little feet, so
yeah.
And what that means. And I don't even know what that means.
I don't know. These are things I didn't think we'd be talking about tonight, but yeah,
How you never know, David.
Yeah.
How did we get from the Terminator to the Sperminator? I don't know.
We made it all the way from the Terminator to the terminally ill. It's the whole
Terminex.
I remember in the late 80s, 87 to 89, there was something we had with Super Channel, all movies. And there was like hundreds. But there was one, I'm sure it was an English actor, and it could have been called Kiss or Rose or something. And he had one eye, like the Cyclops. And I thought, this is going to be a stupid movie. Ink. That's what it's called, Ink. But it was a really good movie. Surprising, you kind of look at it like, this is going to be dumb.
Ink, I never heard of that. I'm going to have to write that down now. Too.
Yeah, it's Ink.
Ended on butterscotch.
Yeah. You had me at butterscotch. Ink, I'll have to write that down. Cyclops.
Yeah. Something it's called Ink.
I like a good Cyclops movie.
Yeah, but he's just kind of always there. You know what I mean? Like I can't remember it all. It was a long time ago.
You had me at butterscotch.
Scutterbotch.
All right. So what are you guys doing for tomorrow? Thanksgiving. Yeah, tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
It is?
I smoked a little bit too much catnip tea.
Damn. How long was I asleep?
I smoked too much catnip tea. I mean, St. Patrick's Day. What are you doing tomorrow? Anything? I'm doing nothing. So that's exciting.
I'm going to work. Wearing green.
Oh, there you go.
Work.
The fuzzy socks. Van Life's smoking a turkey. See that? It's kind of like Thanksgiving.
Thank God Hope doesn't work at the local aquarium.
Yeah, right. Right. Gobble gobble.
In my defense, the one that died tonight was 5 years old. So
I'm sorry, Hope. That's just.
I've been busy all weekend putting green dye in the beer.
It's the red dye. That's what did it. Was the red dye, son of a bitch.
The green dye.
Green dye.
Oh,
butterscotch gravy.
That sounds good.
That's getting Grok turned on.
Got me going. Yeah, I'll be back in 7 minutes.
So I don't think I told you guys the story. This happened last week to me at work.
Oh,
all right. We can't wait to hear this.
So, for those of you guys who don't know, I work at a church. That's important. Also, I'm really short. So that's important because I'm sitting at my desk and my two bosses, they're over 6 foot tall. So whenever they come up to my desk, instead of grabbing a chair, they decided to kneel beside my desk. So my one boss comes up and he wants to talk to me, so he kneels down. And he's talking to me for a little bit. And then the other boss comes up and he's standing behind him, and then all of a sudden he decides to kneel beside him, and I'm like, what is going on? So then they both yell over to the student pastor, and they're like, I was like, I just need one more, and they yell over to her, and she's like, and she comes over, and the one pastor turns to the student pastor and says, "Did you bring the myrrh?" I was like, what is going on? It's like the three wise men.
Oh,
Gifts to me. I'm like, I am not the Virgin Mary.
wow.
I thought somebody was going to tell you to no, don't do it. You're too young to get married.
Whoa.
I did not expect that at work.
The three wise men all surrounding your desk.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't have a baby, so.
I know you guys look at Canada with 12 shades of gray, or is it 14? But I got to tell you, we have a new prime minister, by the way, so no more Justin jokes. Won't work.
No, we can do other jokes now, because.
Yeah, and he's worse than Trudeau anyway. So
yeah, this new guy sounds like a riot too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't live in Canada for quite some time.
He graduated from Harvard with a DA. What's the next one? PA, and right up to a PhD in economics. He was the youngest governor of the Bank of Canada, the only foreign Bank of England governor, and governor of the World Monetary Fund.
Yeah, but how long ago did he live in Canada before he moved back, like last year?
Well, he's always been Canadian.
But he hasn't lived in Canada for quite some time.
Well, no, when you're governor of the World Monetary Fund or England, you go with
is he an interim?
No, technically, there should be, excuse me, an election. But technically, Trudeau stepped down as prime minister midterm. So the Liberals are in power, so they elected Mark Carney. But technically, he was not elected in writing, but he still nevertheless meets the criteria for being prime minister. Friday, he was sworn in. So, see how that one goes.
Yeah, I just heard him on the I just saw a brief thing where I think he was like laying down the law, like,
Yes, he was.
with the tariffs and all that. But I don't know anything about him other than that. Yeah, other than what I saw.
No, he came out of, I think, Harvard with the BA, right up to the PhD in economics and that. And then he went on to be what he became. I used to collect paper money, so I knew when the governor of Bank of Canada changed, because the senators changed.
That's interesting.
So the tariffs are all about the border, right? Too much what fentanyl getting over the border, is that's what the deal is?
Technically, to me, my opinion, Trump was out to blame everybody. It was everybody's fault, well, particularly Biden. But he could not impose tariffs technically. So he came up with as a threat to national security, which came to fentanyl and immigration, which comes from Canada less than 1%. Less than 1% of fentanyl and illegal immigrants come in from Canada. It's just a browbeating. We had a preview of our.
The only reason it's less than 1% is because the southern border has been wide open for 4 years. I can almost guarantee you now that it's more than 1% of the fentanyl coming through the Canadian border now that Trump.
He never says it, but he used that. Our premier held a snap election. This is going to piss people off because he wanted to mandate we supply electricity to 3 states, Michigan,
Yep.
New York, and he was going to, he said, if I have to, I'll
Yep.
shut it off. Well,
What's
he-
the third state? What's the
Michigan,
third
Minnesota,
state?
and New York.
What's the third state? Michigan, New York, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Okay.
But he went to meet a counterpart on Thursday, and the word is he removed the 25% on the hydro. When he comes tomorrow, he is going to get a lot of flack because a lot of people think something happened. A deal was made. It's taken very seriously. I had a video on it. It's called The Pilot or something. And normally it's just a tongue-in-cheek SNL. That's how we do politics. But it ran for 40 minutes, 20 to 40 minutes. It hit 40,000 views. And it went down NATO, it went down everything.
That's more than Michelle Obama's podcast.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
But
anyway,
then-
Blackwatch, right quick, Blackwatch. So the deal that Trump's deal with Canada, allowing fentanyl to come through the border, there is Trump wants Canada to make China stop bringing fentanyl into Canada. So it's not only about the border between you and us, it's about Canada allowing China to bring that shit in. The same with Mexico.
Okay,
Trump
so to respond, we just spent $1.5 billion and hired, I think, 15,000 agents. What more do you want?
Yeah. So and there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So you do that. If China can't get fentanyl to go through Canada into the United States, they'll
Right.
quit sending it in there, you guys, because you guys aren't a consuming nation, and they have no reason to want to kill you like they want to kill us. You know
My
what I
wife's
mean?
been in our home we've been divorced almost 32 years. She's been in a home for 3 years. They found somebody in the elevator dead from fentanyl.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
think we're affected? We want it gone too. But anyway, the point is, the measures British Columbia had to pass legislation. Any truck coming from Washington or wherever to Alaska, they're going to get hit with a hell of a lot of tariffs. Nobody up here wants this crap. It was kind of like, what's going on? What the heck is going on? And Australia got hit with steel on that. And one of the prime minister of the day on his first term struck a deal with Trump. Now, Trump doesn't want to take the meeting, although it went south. He wants whatever he wants, period. Why people even go and see him? It's ridiculous. Look, the way I look at it, who was it? Obama ran out of time. Reagan ran out of whatever. What was doing with waste had to be done. It had to be done. It's not what he's doing, it's how he's doing it. Get on a serious point. But these jokes are taken at first, haha, right? Now it's very serious. Laws are being passed. And I'm going to find out about Ford. If he knelt at the altar, kick his ass right out of.
What's going on? Hope, fill me in. What's going on here?
But anyway,
Nothing.
I was going to ask
No.
you people, and I don't think
I'm-
it'll go well. What do you think of Leonard Cohen?
What's
Think
going
about
on?
what?
Who?
What are we talking about? Henry Ford? Are you talking about Henry Ford?
No, Leonard Cohen. No, Doug Ford, our premier.
Oh, oh, okay.
But
Cohen, that sang Hallelujah, right? Yeah.
Leonard Cohen's poetry, his later works.
Yeah, I love it.
On a darker Hallelujah was a poem. Hallelujah had 75 verses to it all,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's a great song.
a lot of people don't like his character, but I think his poetry is amazing.
Well, because he did what? What was he accused of?
Oh, he had before he died, he lived around Hollywood. And the story goes he went back, because he did London, he did all the engagements. And he was single at the time. And he says, I gave up drinking and smoking a long time ago. I think it's about time I took him out. and he did just before he died. He was, you know, the story about Joplin, Janis Joplin.
Oh, that's right. Where he tricked her. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that
Yeah.
was shady. That's why people. Yeah,
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 he wanted
yeah,
to go to bed with Chris Christopherson, but didn't know how she looked like.
yeah,
The two were in the same hotel. He says, Chris Christopherson. He says, isn't that amazing? I'm Chris Christopherson. And he spent the
yeah.
night with her. You know, I don't, like, Hallelujah is not about God. It's about a broken relationship.
I know I remember we broke this down, but I've still stuck with the fact that it did have something to do with, had to have something to do with God. But I mean, I know it has a relationship, but it's got all the Bible themes in there, though.
Hmm.
All
But
the
that's what he
references.
did. If you listen to You Want It Darker, that he did the same thing, even stronger. And he quoted history
Yeah,
to make his point. He was really good at that. To me, it's
right.
like Barry Gibb and his songs. Barry Gibb's a genius with lyrics and songs to me. Anyway,
Well, he was. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
no,
yeah,
they were, but anyway, yeah, it's just a lot of people shy away from that. I was on somebody's live and I said, you know, if you play You Want It Darker, well, she found some sort of a cover, a musical cover.
yeah.
What about to the second verse and shut it down? I can't listen to that. It wasn't that bad.
Well, no, I mean, I guess it depends on, yeah, if you're in the mood or whatever. But it's a brilliant song. Yeah, it's definitely brilliant.
No, well, this was you. I think You Want a Darker Glow starts. If you are the dealer, I'm out of the game. If you are the healer, I'm broken and maimed. If thine is the glory, mine must be the shame. You know, they don't like hearing that.
Yeah.
You know, they don't. He just used those words to tell a story.
Well, it depends, I guess, where you're at mentally. I mean, yeah, history is a dark place, folks. History is a dark place, and yeah,
On that one, they quoted Nazi Germany in one of the verses, and a lot of
yeah.
people think the German people were
Well, that's that's obviously a sore subject. Yeah, definitely. Van Life likes Canadian bacon, so you guys have weird bacon, right? Is it? It's not bacon, or it is? It's ham, right?
we have something. I guess it parallels your pork belly. It was female bacon, but it was developed, if you will, in Ontario from the trappers
Yeah,
per trade.
yeah.
It's really good. It is.
All right. So I don't know. What do you guys think about what Blackwatch said about this new guy? You think? What do you think's going on?
If he
I,
goes,
I, I don't know. I mean, I feel like he's just the fact that he's been part of the World Bank, like
Oh,
the International Monetary Fund or whatever it is, like it's all, yeah,
yeah.
it's not good.
Yeah. That's definitely brings up a red flag. Oh,
Yeah.
that's what he
Van
was.
Life's he's
Well,
passing on the maple syrup, though.
so the WEF is bad. Well, why did Trump go to address it? It's so bad. Which that was a funny address. Did you hear his address to WEF?
No,
It's
I didn't.
a comedic skit. We're going to have AI come in. We're going to great big buildings right beside, for AI, and we can't trust the electrical grid. This is what he's saying. So we're
Well,
going to
yeah,
and
yeah,
the power plants are going to be powered by nice, clean coal. I said to my friend, "What's nice, clean coal?" He says, "Is that like Nat King Cole?" I said, "No, he was black too." I said, "Where'd you get nice, clean coal from? How come we get the dirty stuff?" It was hilarious. Did you hear him at the DOJ? I was ready to hear, and when I turned 10 years old, come on, guys.
I don't know what's happening. I think I smoked too much catnip tea. What's happening here? I don't know what's happening.
Anyway, it just seems to me a blame game, and he's blaming the wrong people.
Well, I know that AI is definitely concerning. Me and Grau were talking about that earlier, where Kim Kardashian was laying there with the robot on the beach.
I'd like to know what AI is supposed to do. I spent almost 30 years in IT. I saw a lot of changes. I don't see this AI scare, but some people see it. It's only there. Look at his inaugural swear-in, and look at the people behind him. End of story.
Um,
There you go. But anyway, it's like I say, he's just too confrontational.
so you're not. So I'm taking it. You're not a huge fan of what moves are being done. All right.
I could tell you what I really think, and I've watched an awful lot of analytical podcast, whatever you want to call it, on the subject. All he needs now is a
Oh, yeah.
permanent.
Where exactly did you watch that at?
Pardon?
Where exactly did you say you watched a lot of analytical podcasts on that? Where exactly did you watch that at?
Well, it was on YouTube. It was professors and people who are educated in political shifts in history and moves within the political, genre.
Yeah.
Authoritative things.
I'll put it this way. I'll put it this way. I can remember when being a professor was a good thing.
I
It's
know.
not
I
such
know what you're saying.
Such a
I
good
don't
thing
know.
now.
Like I say, it's the way he's doing it, not what he's doing. It's the way he's doing
So, and like the old saying, and no disrespect, but the old saying, if you don't have nothing good to say, don't say nothing. That's why I've been quiet. But here's a question. Here's a question. Here's a question. How do you suggest that he goes about doing what he's doing? How do you suggest that he goes about trimming the fat? How do you suggest he goes about draining the swamp, getting rid of the oligarchs? How do you suggest that he finds that $500 billion a year that nobody knows where it goes or who has it? A year, $500 billion for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, it's just $500 billion. We're in debt for 36. Wait, it's only $500 billion a year. Don't worry about it. It's probably under the little 89-year-old lady's mattress. It'll be fine.
The one with all the kids, the 69 kids.
All the kids, yeah. Well, she got to make money somehow,
Right.
Now we know where that money went. Can we find out where she lives? I love butterscotch candy.
Yeah, I
love butterscotch.
My answer to that is, how can I say that when it's never been done before? How can I answer a question? It's never been done before.
Exactly. Okay, so then here's an honest question. Do you think he's going to be able to do what he says he's doing? And I can already answer what you're going to say. No, you don't think he's going to be able to drain the swamp. You don't think he's going to be able to. You don't think he's going to be able to make the DOJ and the FBI trusted institutions when 82% of the people in the United States don't trust the FBI. They don't trust the DOJ. They don't trust the American government. 82% of the American public don't trust their own government.
Yeah, I can't answer that. That's within your own borders. We have our own problems. I'm not telling you how to run your country. I wouldn't dare do that. I'm just talking about the interactions to quote one-time allies.
I understand. I'm not trying to be confrontational. I'm just trying to ask an honest question. What do you, if you don't like the way he's doing it, then you should have a suggestion as to how to do it. If not, shut the hell up, man, and let him do what he's doing. I'm
talking about what he's doing down there. I'm not going to tread on that. I don't see why.
I don't have the answer. I don't have the answer. If he goes in there and he's not a politician and he thinks that he can fix this shit, motherfucker, fix it. Let him fix it.
I'm all for that.
Let him go in there with a chainsaw, my ass. Go in there with a freaking bunch of tanks and level that shit out.
Well, I think one thing's clear is that the last 4 years that we lived through,
horrible,
were each day was like was a nightmare.
And then come to find out, those thousands of murderers and everybody that that Biden released, give pardons in his last 10 days in office. One of his staff members used an auto pen to sign those documents.
Well, not only just that, it's like a lot of things could have been signed by auto pen. So how much of it is legal, and is auto pen even legal?
All the pardons for Adam Schiff, all the pardons for the people on the J6 committee, auto pen, all that stuff was auto pen.
I wasn't going to say a word about this. I was just going to say, what do you think of Leonard Cohen? And by the way, we have a new prime minister. That's it.
All right.
And I listen like what Churchill man. I don't want you to take it personal, but I'm just so tired of people saying he's doing it wrong. He don't know what he's doing. I'm like, if you got a better answer, motherfucker, tell him. That's all
I'm talking about is I don't understand why he's thinking Canada ripped them off from our side. I don't get that.
So, but here's the solution to that. Let me tell you why. Because he's trying to tell you guys, if you guys have zero tariffs, that's what you're going to get from us is zero tariffs.
Yeah, well,
if you want to go 25%, we're going to go 25%.
No, but he did the last agreement with Canada in his first term. If you got a problem with it, sit down and talk about it and go over it again. That's all.
Because I think that some of those items for years have been outrageous. I mean, I think we're talking about like some items have like a tariff from Canada to US like 260%. Wood or something sounds familiar.
My dad worked for the Customs and Excise, and I never heard of that rate.
Yeah,
never.
I don't know. That's the first.
That was on dairy products. That was on a certain few dairy products. But one of the main things was the car dealer thing. When one of them was charging 10%, and the other one was charging 2.5%. We were charging 2.5%. Canada's charging us 10%.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I could have sat down and negotiated. He came up with the shotgun. Here, this is what you're going to get.
Well, I think what I'm taking from it, I mean, I think some of it is to force us to manufacture and do things here again, where we've sent it all offshore.
Obviously, David, we already know that if we make it here ourselves, it's going to cost us more. But that's the bullet that we have to bind if we want sovereignty, if we want safety, if we want pharmaceuticals that tried to cut us off of during the pandemic. They're like, well, hey, maybe we shouldn't send you guys aspirin and hydroxychloroquine and everything. Maybe we'll keep that for ourselves. And that's when the United States realized, hey, we're dependent on China, our number one enemy on the planet. Hey, mate, they turned a complete ship around full of PPG, personal protection equipment, PPEs. I'm sorry. No, we need those masks. You turn that whole boat around and bring it back.
You want to know how I feel about that? In the 60s, I used to drive to Buffalo clearance centers and try to convince the border guard. My brand new jeans and everything, I wore them going down because the products were made in the U.S. And then all of a sudden, everything started to float east.
I think our big problem moving forward is if we get things manufacturing again and we build the facilities, is going to be hiring and getting people back to the habit of working again. Because
of course.
Because when they were using that term, a new normal, it sure did create a new normal. I think that work patterns, lifestyle, everything's changed now. Everything is different. So
you're absolutely right, David.
That's going to be the wild thing, is to get people back in the habit of not doing like these gig jobs and part-time here and this, that, to get back to standing. So like, I think on Steve's, I think they were talking about it tonight when, out of high school, my dad too. I could relate with Dave, who was talking on there about your dad got a job at GM and they just worked there forever, and it was a good
Yeah.
paying job. But I think to get people to do that again, that's going to be the trick to get people back to that mindset. And that's like him moving people back to the office, like the government employees and stuff. People are going crazy because they've been at home now for 4 years. And
the other side of that, David, is I worked for 6 years out of everything, my first job, right? And I kind of got writing on the wall, and then I'll look for another one. And it was a union. It was UAW, CAW, and now CANPOR. I know how those unions work.
oh, hold on. We got breaking news. There's 5 cop cars outside of Hope's house there.
Yeah,
It's
and
probably
there's one car that they're looking at. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's
Probably
going
the Fish and Game and Wildlife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
on.
Oh yeah.
Is this your fishing pole, young lady? We caught him.
Yeah.
At
I
48.
don't have any fishing poles.
All right.
But anyway, I just hope we can get along, without all this threats and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it this way: it's going to all come out in the wash. From a basic economic standpoint on this thing, we know it's going to cost us more to buy products that's made in America, but the basic economic point behind that is there's going to be more people working in our country making our product, which in turn gives them more money to spend to pay for the products that we're making here that cost more than what we pay for Chinese cheap crap.
I
Yeah.
think exactly. Canada wants you as strong as anything, not to siphon your money, so that we're just as strong and we trade with strength. We want prosperity both sides of the border.
Send them a letter. Say, listen, if you drop we drop our tariffs to 0, they will too. That eliminates that issues right there.
Yeah. Yep. So call the whoever.
The
get
truth
that
about
worked out.
the truth about free trade. After he was retired decades, the prime minister negotiated that. Said it never existed. No, it didn't. It didn't. There's only certain products they said were free of tariff. It never existed. It was a concept.
Yeah.
Like I said,
I'm glad that my Stratocaster was made in America.
there you go.
Yeah.
A what?
What are you trying to tell me? The one that I had was made in Mexico is not real?
My Stratocaster. Hope the guitar. Fender.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Mine? Are you telling me that mine, the one that says made in Mexico, is not?
I know. What was the one?
I can't even think of what they're called. I just
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they've improved over the years, but yeah, I forget one of the ones I have. They had knocked it off in a factory in Mexico, and the back peeled off it like within a year. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I remember I was looking for a Mustang used. It wasn't a new one. So I phoned a couple of dealers. I said, you get a black or white Mustang 5-liter, LX happened. Well, the guy came up with one that this woman shouldn't have bought. But, on the door jamb, the rear door jamb, the 2-door, here's a little sticker assembled in Mexico. I'm going, what?
Yeah. Well,
what?
Yeah. That's been going on a long time. Yeah, that's been going on a long time.
Bond on it, but I don't know. There's got to be an answer that, but he's ruffling, about NATO. Don't want to say a damn thing about it. The only time the full force of NATO came to bear in 75 years was on 9/11.
Well, here's one of the things, though. I think that as far as pulling out of all that foreign entities, is that we learned over what we went through during that period of time that we definitely don't want to listen to an outside source about health, do we?
Nope.
No.
So those, in my opinion, those people seem to want to use their nonsense to dictate to the world what we do with our bodies, which they, people want the right to have an abortion, but they'll wear a mask. We don't want the outside influence financially or health wise or militarily wise, I don't think. And I think that we came to like a really scary close place to losing all our power to those people.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's got to be kind of severe right now. I mean, we came really close to losing this country, like really, really close.
Yeah, as close as it has ever been.
Right.
Speaking of NATO, while we're on NATO real quick, and of course, Canada, you guys got free medical, right? Don't cost anybody anything. But the problem with that is you guys haven't paid your NATO bill since its inception, which is only 2% of your GDP. Yeah. And then Trudeau comes out and tells us that we should be able to get pay our bill. We should be able to pay what we're supposed to be paying by 2036. Oh.
No,
so
that's
what would happen if you went to your landlord or your mortgage company and you're like, I'm a little short stacked right now. I'm not doing too good at the tables.
That's way past when the Terminator came out, huh?
That's always been a sore spot. Where I worked, the northern part was a CFP, Canadian Forces Base. And they gave, there's a Harrier, there was a jet almost. But anyway, they moved it all out. That it needs money. It needs support to the military. We already have believed that about ourselves for a long time. Why it's not happened, I don't know. It's like actually.
Anyway, David, we came really, really close to losing this place.
Oh, I think so.
And I for one am tickled to death. I look forward to waking up every day tomorrow to see what kind of shit Trump has stirred up tomorrow. I love it. I love every damn thing that he's doing. He's kicking ass. He's taking names. Why do you think they're all pissed off? Because he's over the target. $500 billion these people have been sticking in their pocket every year of your money, dude. Of your money. And they don't like it. They don't want nobody looking around. He's got city judges now in Democratic cities saying, no, you can't. You're going to have to hire those people back, and you have to pay that $2 billion that was promised to pay. And Trump's like, wait a minute. You're like the judge in some little podunk town, and you think you get to tell the leader of the most powerful country on the planet what he's got to do? Kiss my ass. That's all he's saying. But he's going to do. He does it the right way. He goes to court. The lady that said, "Well, I'll see you in court." He goes, "I'll look forward to that. That'll be a blast. I'll bring an apple and some popcorn."
I don't think
butterscotch.
Well, I mean, there were 1 second, Black Watch, but we spent 4 years where we couldn't say anything. We had to be quiet for 4 years. And when someone's telling you what to think and what you can't say, that's obvious. That's a dead giveaway that they're wrong. They're lying. If I can't have an opinion in the United States of America, we came so close to losing this place. We couldn't even talk for 4 years. We had to have code words. Maybe we still might have to have code words, but that is absurd. They would have never tried that when our grandparents were the adults in the room.
David, to this day, we still censor ourselves. We still subconsciously censor ourselves.
And that is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
But there is a thing about history. I'm not saying right or wrong. How Biden, this whole thing, I'm going I got enough in my life, without
right.
What you were people with. You know that
You're looking for a lady named, what's her name, Valentino or whatever.
Yeah, I would say likewise. Dude, we're not picking on you just because you're a fucking Canadian.
No.
You know.
But you do know the history of the Ukraine. This is just history. This is where don't know history. When the USSR broke up, the Ukraine inherited behind Russia and China the third largest nuclear arsenal in the world. And collectively, the world said to them, get rid of it. We'll protect you. But Russia will come in. We'll protect you. And part of that pledge came from the United States. That's history.
Yeah, and that's true. That's fact. 100%. You are 100% correct.
I'm just saying, we pledged protecting them. They could have been.
Are you saying we, like you're joining? Are you going to be the 51st state?
No, hell will freeze over. You think we don't have nuclear weapons?
It's wild. When I lived in Las Vegas, I lived there for 3 years. I met more Canadians that I'm surprised there's anybody left in Canada, because everybody I met, where are you from? Canada. All the Canadians. Yeah.
Oh, you met all three. You met all three of them.
Yeah, all three of them. But here's the other thing. I never met a mean Canadian. Never. All Canadians are nice. Is that true or false, Blackwatch?
I'll give you an example. The Geneva Convention wasn't written by or for Canadians. It was written because of them in the First World War. Yes, we're nice until you piss us off.
Uh-oh, watch out. Forget it.
It reminds me of European vacation where they're driving around. They hit the guy on the bicycle. And he starts squirting blood everywhere, and he's like, "Oh, let me take. Oh no, that's okay. That's okay. It's just a little scratch here,
Yeah, I'm fine.
Just squirting blood all over that little car there. Gets up, tries to ride off. Somebody else hits him.
I have seen that movie, but I don't remember that part.
Oh,
We'll have to rewatch that one. European vacation.
But the one thing that gets me, the tariffs. Who pays the tariffs? Who pays tariffs?
Well, the people are going to end up paying
the people that buy the product. Exactly.
But Blackwatch, if you don't want to pay the tariff, don't buy the product.
Exactly.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, well, we won't need cars soon, because we'll all be living in 15-minute cities. I mean, that's the way things were going. I mean, it was just really crazy. I mean, again, hopefully we are on the right track, even if it's harsh. Maybe if it seems harsh. I mean, because there's a lot that just was backwards. There was a lot of backwards stuff. I mean, on Channel 8 or whatever here in Cleveland, they're developing it and building it right downtown Cleveland, where they're openly saying that they're developing this property, this part of the city, as a 15-minute city. And that's scary, man. That is scary to think that, because I've talked to people that grew up in that area that say they've already been confined to areas in the inner cities like that. Like one guy told me, if you ask someone from 51st Street how to get to 72nd Street, they would have no idea, because they've already been confined to areas.
Yeah.
Can you imagine generations of people that you would forget, you know what I mean? How scary that implications of people never leaving that area. Wild stuff.
You talk about the cities. Toronto is Ontario's capital. And through the last number of years before this, I heard everybody's moving out. And I looked at the cost of living. Oh my God.
Night, man. Yeah.
Yeah. It always was rough, but not that rough.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's an awful lot of profiteering going on.
Yeah. We'll have to see. We'll have to solve all these problems soon.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Van's hitting the hay. Night, Van. I think we'll wind it down here. Well, I'm glad that we could have discussions and not.
I just wanted to talk about Leonard Cohen. I didn't want to get into.
I know.
I think we put a dent in quite a few of the quite a few of the problems tonight. But one of my favorite parts was picking on the guy from Canada, and he just took it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, you're welcome back anytime, Black Watch, so we can pick on you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Next time I'll bring
Exactly.
wampum, beaver tail, and moose meat.
Yeah, yeah. We'll tear every subject apart from up there. North, okay? All right. What else? What do we got before we leave? Set the politics down for a minute.
Should we take any calls before we call it?
Yeah, let's take some calls. Callers, go ahead. Go ahead and call in with your questions.
Long time caller, first time viewer. Go ahead.
East of the Rockies. Go ahead.
Anyone with
All right, there's Steve.
Any questions about your fish or anything?
Yeah.
Oh,
Steve
shut up, bro.
Winding it down, everyone. Winding it down. Everybody calm down. Yeah. We did remain calm, which was good.
I'm shocked your fish, whoever told you the fish didn't tell you. Leave it in the bag and you let it float around in the water for a while.
Well, she's at a different state. She's at eating pea state,
I've had these fish for a few months now, but I've had the other fish for 5 years. Like the one that just died tonight, I've had for 5 years.
So those are old.
And you said that fish had a name, right? Hope.
His name was Eric.
Eric, that's right. Okay. Can we have a moment of silence? Can we have a moment of silence for Eric, please?
Shut up, Draw.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad. Very few people have success with aquariums, David.
Our prayers and thoughts go with Eric tonight as we wind this stream down. Eric was a good fish. What color was Eric? Hope.
Eric was a bottom feeder. He looked like gravel.
Of course, you talked about Eric, and you had to say something about stream. He's gone down the stream.
Oh yeah.
As we end the stream tonight with Eric.
To end the stream.
If Hope was here, she would just be repetitively punching me in the face right now.
Pretty much. No, I would not be punching me in the face.
A live stream. I get it, Gra.
You were just waiting for that one, weren't you, Gra?
Yes. Anything with the word stream in it.
Okay.
And with respect to tomorrow's day, kicking your shillelagh out from under you.
Oh.
What?
Shillelagh, Irish.
It's not a vuvuzuela. It's a shillelagh, right? The vuvuzuela is the soccer thing or whatever. What's that called? The those things that they shake at the soccer games.
That thing.
But you're talking about a shillelagh. That's like an Irish cane or something?
A walking stick. Kind of.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, prayers go out to Eric, the bottom feeding fish. And Canada. Prayers go out to Canada.
But that bottom feeding country. Yeah.
There is a comeback to that that's going around. You won't
I know. No, I know because you're above us and we're below you, and
you won't. There's a comeback to that whole thing.
Yeah.
But anyway.
All right, here we go. All right, we'll be making videos this week. We'll probably be back next Sunday when we'll have already experienced St. Patrick's Day, where
that's right.
None of us sound like we're doing anything. So
and I'm going to go watch. We're going to go watch the movie The Vagrant.
Let's get back to that for just 1 second. Watch The Vagrant right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Any final thoughts, anybody? Thanks, Steve, for sending people over.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate that.
When is the show starting, David?
I was going to start it in like 5 minutes, but I'm getting bored.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we'll do it next week.
Oh, okay.
My final thought. You say final thought, and for some reason, visions of butterscotch candy popped up in my mind.
Oh man, that's getting me. I'm getting excited for the butterscotch.
Woo!
What about
All right,
those
I'm
like
out here.
little like strawberry candies that like just appear?
Oh, the ones that just they don't have no wrapper around them. They stick together, sitting there on the bowl of the coffee table.
Yeah.
Like little pieces of hair and lint stuck to them, and until I opened my
Oh, can I ask you something before I forget? I always open. No. Well, I'm sorry. I have the floor. I can ask. But anyway, very quickly, I always use Firefox private windowing. And I'm looking, I got up, the thing's running. I slept for a while. And I'm looking at the thing, and it says sign in, but it's still running. I'm going, holy crap, I got to go to see this. So it already knew the account. So all they do was a password, no two-step. All of a sudden, the notifications are categorized important, and it might have ones that just went up. Then it said more notifications. Nobody's seen that other than me. It's like it kicked in a new feature with notifications out of this. So by the time I gather nothing changed with you.
The last time I seen Firefox was on my web TV. If that answers your.
It's not Firefox.
Oh, okay.
But Firefox is American, so there, before you even go to Canada.
Okay, good.
Oh, I forgot to say hi to the people watching on X. Hi, people watching on X. I forgot. I forgot that we're on X tonight, but hi, X people. Thanks for watching. All right, there we have it. Anybody else? Anything? Gras butterscotch.
Yeah.
Under Shop Australia, your local mom and pop store.
What is this red? What's this red button for?
Gras gonna hit the red button. All right, Hope. Any last thoughts? I'm gonna run the outro.
Have a great week, everybody, and don't forget to wear green tomorrow.
All right, we're green tomorrow. Thanks, Blackwatch, for being here. Thanks, Hope.
Thanks, you. Good night, chat.
Thanks, Gra. And we'll see you next Sunday. And check out some videos this week. And happy St. Patrick's Day.